This is Newcap News with Lauren Poland.
And thank you very much for joining us. A three-car crash in the border city has sent an infant to hospital. It happened at 52nd Street and 50th Avenue around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Police are still investigating but releasing few details at this time. We will bring you the latest information as it becomes available. Cleanup continues in North Battleford after a massive storm tore through the city. Take a look. This is the aftermath of the storm, which saw winds upwards of 100 kilometers per hour.
Here at City Hall, we were in the middle of a city council meeting, and we'd kind of been watching the radar, and all of a sudden the power did go out in our council meeting. We went outside or looked out the windows, and it was just very, very stormy. Lots of rain, lots of wind.
Damage is extensive. The wind took down power lines, traffic lights, and snapped trees. But on the bright side, there have been no reports of flooding.
Of any injuries. There is a lot of property damage, though. We don't have an official damage estimate, but you just drive around North Battleford, you'll see just how widespread it is.
Cleanup is expected to take a few days with both the city and residents working together.
Busy day out there with residents, trying to remove all the debris from their yards and trees, and they have chainsaws and trucks hauling it away, and the city is waiving landfill fees for anyone hauling branches and things to the dump today and for the rest of the week.
The city hasn't seen a storm like this in 2 years, and it's asking, in the event of another storm, residents to not drive around unless it's an emergency, as it causes delays for crews trying to clean up. Meantime, the Battleford's Union Hospital is also feeling the repercussions. The hospital is currently running off an emergency generator. The emergency department is open, but day and elective surgeries have all been canceled. Officials are asking people not to come to the hospital unless it is an emergency. Meantime, officials with Sask Power say it could take between 18 to 24 hours before power is restored in the Lloydminster, Meadow Lake, and North Battleford areas. CITL is also working to get landline and internet service back up for customers in the North Battleford area. Well, Saskatchewan is supporting recreation and our culture in our community through its lotteries program, giving just over $50,000 to local groups. Elise Cox has all the details.
Nonprofit community organizations will be seeing some cash now that Council has allocated and approved their requests.
What happens is that there's actually a whole application process. So we actually put out notices, and then community groups can actually apply for grant funding. And then the communities board, depend on need and how many funds are available, will then decide how to allocate from there.
Lloydminster's In Motion qualified through their recreational after-school programs and were given $9,000.
The after-school hours are key to keeping kids active, so that's why we do it. They come right after school, they have a quick snack, and then they go to the field house to be active for an hour. So we target kids that aren't in organized sport. But it's important for all kids to be active in the after-school hours, and so that's why we have the program.
They were one of 13 organizations that profited from the $45,000 grant awarded by the Saskatchewan Lotteries program.
It's very exciting for our after-school program. I think this will be our 3rd year, so to have that funding, it's exciting that we can do it again for another year.
The Native Friendship Center was also awarded $3,000 and an additional $6,000 from the Urban Aboriginal Grant. Elise Cox, Newcap News.
Well, thanks to empty bottle containers of Lloydminster residents, the B. Fisher Bottle Depot has raised a hefty amount for another nonprofit organization. More than $5,000 has been collected for Alberta Cans for Kids, an initiative of the Alberta Bottle Depot Association, and all funds raised going to Alberta's children's hospitals.
I'm always quite blown away and very surprised and very honored to know that there are citizens in northern Alberta who band together, even if we're a couple hundred kilometers away. They come together to help a children's hospital that helps their community as well.
The Bottle Depot says the campaign has been a success, running for 3 years and helping raise money for the Stollery.
Being a non-profit organization, we're also collecting bottles for ourselves. We have our own needs. But this year we're going to kick it up a little bit, and we're going to start to take all the containers that come in or donated to Be Fisher. We're going to give 10% of that to the Stollery.
Around $290,000 was raised by the Alberta Cans for Kids program. The funding will help develop the hospital for things including research, education, equipment, and expansion. The border city is booming, and now Lloydminster is setting a plan to prepare for its future growth. As Elise Cox explains, the city is starting an in-depth analysis on how to prepare and cope with the change.
Lloydminster has grown by about 16% in the past 6 years, and the city is preparing for the future.
We're trying to hammer down over the next 30 or 50 years how much land is going to be required for growth.
This will be done through a comprehensive growth analysis to manage our expansions.
The key is that you can grow in an orderly fashion, in harmony with your neighbors, and that everybody knows where you're going, why you would invest in certain things in certain areas, and that you can make those kind of plans. When we're putting infrastructure in place, it has to last 50, 100 years. We better know what the growth plan is for these 35 to 40.
So this examination is essential for the city's planning and development team.
It's a document that they need in order to do their work, so they know what kind of investment to attract, what kind of communities to plan, what kind of roads to build, what kind of infrastructure to put in place, rather than just take a shot in the dark.
But with the rapid growth in Saskatchewan, analysis can be difficult.
There is more growth happening on the Saskatchewan side that was never happening before.
The city has approved the $92,000 budget for the analysis, funded through general reserves. Elise Cox, Newcap News.
Meantime, the mayor and council accepted a very special gift at yesterday's meeting.
And this is a scepter.
A scepter is a symbolic rod or wand used in multiple political spheres to represent authority and a connection with the community. This particular piece was built to reflect the budding border city, linking in ties with oil and farming. Crafted by Tracy Klotz with Titus Tools, along with help from some other sponsors, the scepter took months to complete, but according to the mayor, it was worth it.
I think it looks fantastic. When I saw the initial pictures, I thought, I wonder how this is going to turn out. But I think it looks fantastic when you look at what he combined and what he did, and really just the symbolism and connection to Lloydminster and area. I think it looks great.
For now, the scepter's new home is in council chambers.